Everyone. I'm Natalie Sifeng-Fett from Public Affairs and External Communications, Bombardier Commercial Aircraft. And what a great pleasure to be here with you today. And thank you for joining us. It's always exciting to be at the Farnborough Air Show, and we're thrilled to share with you the latest news on the CS300 right from here. So first, allow me to give you an overview of the agenda, and at the same time, introduce our speakers. So in a moment, I will ask Rob Dewar, our Vice President, C-Series Program, to kick things off with his opening remarks and some updates on the CS300 aircraft program. He will also walk us through our road to delivery of the first CS300 to our launch customer, airBaltic. Speaking of airBaltic, today it's an honor to have with us none other than Martin Gauss, Chief Executive Officer at airBaltic. Martin will give us an overview of how airBaltic will introduce the CS300 to its fleet. I would also like to highlight that Martin Sedlacki, Chief Operation Officer, and Paul Solitis, Senior Vice President of Flight Operations at airBaltic, are also joining us today. So finally, Todd Young, Vice President and General Manager, Customer Services, will come and say a few words about how we're gearing up for the CS300 entry into service. At the end, we will open the floor for Q&As. After that, if you would like additional time with any of our speakers and senior leaders, let me or my colleagues, Annabelle right here, Marinella, know, and we will gladly help make the arrangements. So it is now my pleasure to welcome Rob Dewar. Rob, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Natalie. Good afternoon. So exciting day. I'm going to share some late-breaking news on the C-Series program. And of course, very happy to be here with our launch operator, airBaltic. Okay, so the big news, as you guys know, yesterday we had our certification from Transport Canada, major milestone for the program, and of course well in time for deliveries to airBaltic. And again, on schedule with what we had committed to the program. We'd always said that we would certify approximately 6 months after the CS100, and we did it exactly on that timeline. So what's next in terms of schedule? Of course, EASA is well underway. We've been working with EASA, of course, throughout the program, and we expect certification in the next 30-40 days from EASA. And of course, following that, we will have the certification from the FAA in the United States. And all that's in line with the delivery to the first CS300, which will be delivered in October of this year. And Martin will talk a little bit more about their plans from the delivery point onward. So pretty exciting time. Also, a record in the industry that we could certify the second family member within a 6-month time frame. And again, it was because of the strategy we took with the program. There's a very high level of commonality between the CS100 and 300. In fact, it's over 99% common from the LRU point of view. Also, breaking news, we finished flight test program and certified, so we've also confirmed that we're able to further improve the performance out of challenging airports, hot and high as well as challenging airports. So first of all, just quickly on the 100 out of London City, we now have confirmed that we have an improvement of 150 nautical miles, and again, that's for the CS100. And again, that's important because it offers more destinations. More importantly, for the 300, that's what we're here to talk about today. Benchmark in the US, we can now go 2,400 nautical miles. And as you all know, the base aircraft under normal airports does 3,300 nautical miles. And that's a huge improvement of 450 nautical miles, which offers basically up to 20% more range out of these challenging airports. More specifically for airBaltic, and this is really is you have 2,469 nautical miles out of Riga, offering all these destinations. Of course, one of the challenges that Martin gave us was to be able to make it to Abu Dhabi, and I'm happy to announce today that the aircraft is now confirmed that we can do that route, as well as many others that you can see on the chart. Sales side, a lot of momentum as well. So we're now actually 370 firm orders on the C Series, and I'm going to walk you through some of those critical customers. So in the last few months, Air Canada, CS300, firm order for 45 aircraft plus 30 options, total of 75. Again, a great customer to have on board on the CS300. Swiss, of course, although we talk about them, launch operator of the 100, they also have, of course, their total order is 30 plus 30, 15 CS100s, but also 15 CS300s, and they will take their first 300 in Q1 of next year. Delta, of course, this was the largest order to date from a very key, well-recognized customer. Although the order is for 75 plus 50, 125 total, the initial deliveries are for CS100s, but as they announced, they have the conversion rights at aircraft 36 for CS300s. So again, they have that flexibility. Very important, the most important today is the airBaltic, 20 CS300s firm order. And again, they increased their order earlier this year. It was a great endorsement for a customer, such a high respected customer by us, to really select additional aircraft is always very complimentary. Thank you, Martin, for your confidence. So a lot of activities going on. The training has been ongoing in Montreal and is on track with the plans to support the entry into service with airBaltic. So I'm just going to share a quick video of the feedback from some of those flights.
We've been a couple of times here within the project of slowly getting the C Series running for airBaltic, and now we have been moving a step forward. We are receiving a familiarization course on the aircraft as it is getting closer to the entry into service. So from the piloting side, we're just preparing ourselves to write the manuals, the procedures, look into details now, as we're not far away anymore from the first aircraft coming up in Riga.
We've seen and visited the aircraft many times before, but this is the first time that we're getting an in-depth look at the different systems, and we are all amazed at how modern and how advanced this aircraft is compared to anything that we've seen before.
We've been in the eSIM now, so in the simulator a couple of times. Total new design. With that, it's a clean sheet, nothing old which has just been redesigned or re-engined. So in that concern, of course, all of the systems, including the entire cockpit suite, are just new, and we love it. It's great. So we've had a couple of sessions up to now, and we really like it.
The Bombardier support for entry into service over the last few months has been tremendous. There's a huge professional team that's motivated and helping us get prepared. It's a team effort. With all the work and the dedication from both sides, we're sure that the entry into service is going to be a big success, and we're really looking forward to it.
So with different visits here in the factory, we've seen, of course, the development as well. Then now to the assembly lines just being occupied with aircraft. It's just full on the production line. And then coming in and now seeing all of our aircraft, a green one after the other, standing there. That is pretty exciting, and it gives a very different feeling on the whole project.
To be the launch operator of CS300 is a big responsibility, but obviously it's a big honor and also something that's exciting. We're going to show the world that what the CS300 can do, and it'll be airBaltic pilots doing that.
So just a summary really on where are we in the CS300. So basically this year on the sales side overall over 200 new commitments, of which 127 are firm. And that's just in this fiscal year to date. CS300, of course, we talked about the certification from Transport Canada. Performance actually confirming and announcing today actually better than predicted. And of course, very timely for the entry into service for airBaltic. And as you saw in the video, we're well underway with our production ramp-up in Mirabel. So that's a quick summary from my side. It gives me great pleasure to invite Martin Gauss, Chief Operating Officer from airBaltic, to join me on the stage. And he'll give you a quick update on their plans and entry into service. Thank you, Martin. Great.
Thanks. Yeah, good afternoon together. Thank you, Rob, for these warm words. I'd like to go back a little bit in time on our CS300. For that I need to take you to our performance. We had some difficult years in the past, and 4 years ago here at the Farnborough Air Show we took a very, very important decision. We selected the Bombardier CS300 as the aircraft to go with us in the future. And now 4 years later we had 3 years of profit behind us. We had a record profit for ourselves last year. Positive into the future on this, and then in addition to that we will have replacing all our jet fleet with the CS300, and I cannot tell you how I felt when I saw last week Swiss taking on the CS100, what feeling that was. I can only imagine what it will be like for us in Latvia when we take on the CS300. All these emotions coming with that aircraft, and you've seen this, what happened in the media. We will have hopefully the same when the CS300 comes to airBaltic. But looking at our performance, it was the right decision in 2012. It took very long, 4 years, but it was planned to take a while until we get it. Now we get it. We will receive it in October, and we're really looking forward to it, and it will be part of our success story. This is the current network which we fly, and you see some destinations which in the future we can add now. Rob said earlier we had the requirement to fly longer routes than today, which we couldn't fly. And we will fly to Abu Dhabi and some other destinations which were out of reach. The CS300 will enable us to serve destinations we were not able to serve in the past. And we can use the aircraft on all destinations airBaltic has. Even on the shortest one we will deploy the CS300. We have added Vilnius. I'm sorry for the mic, it is intermediate. And the two airports, Tallinn and Vilnius, we will be using also the CS300 to serve these new destinations. Thanks.
So here, okay, this one is better. So again to Tallinn and Vilnius, these two destinations in the Baltic countries we are serving already, and we will be using the CS300 on all of our destinations. So all the destinations from Riga and the other two countries, we will use the CS300 in the future. How do we get the aircraft? We will receive 6 aircraft this year, and then we ramp up to receive the 20th aircraft in 2019. By 2019 we will have an all Bombardier fleet, so in addition to our 12 Q400s we will then have 20 CS300s, and that gives us we will be an all Bombardier operator by that time, and by that time we will have one of the youngest fleets in Europe with only 2.5 years average fleet age. So the big start of course in 2016 in October when we start taking on the CS300, and preparations for that, as you saw earlier in the video, are going in full motion. What does the aircraft mean to us or to our passengers? We're flying Boeings today and Q400s. First of all, the aircraft is so different, and all of you who have been in the aircraft will see this immediately, with the 5 abreast, with a wider middle seat. The aircraft is very quiet. The aircraft will have a different range. The aircraft burns less fuel. So everything for us as an operator, but also for our passengers, will be better in the future with this aircraft. And I'm already looking forward to all the passengers we're going to have who are going to give us that positive feedback on flying on a CS300 in the future. And again, I can only say that we're counting the days now until we get the aircraft. The whole company is really excited, and we're looking forward to all these weeks ahead of us before we get it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin, and thank you, Rob, for the update. This is an exciting time for all of us, and we're looking forward seeing the CS300 taking the sky and proudly boasting the colors of airBaltic. So I will now invite Todd Young to come to the stage and tell us a little bit more about entry into service. So Todd?
Thank you, Natalie. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Martin. Some fantastic things happening both at airBaltic and on our C-Series program. So my name's Todd Young. I'm the Vice President General Manager of Customer Services for Commercial Aircraft. Happy to be here. Do want to share with you a very brief update on the activities the customer service organization is taking part in leading up to the entry into service of the CS300 at airBaltic. Just to talk a little bit about our activities, we have been very focused on ensuring that the support is available to service the C-Series aircraft. We have opened our Customer Response Center. This state-of-the-art facility will provide 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, technical and functional support to all of our C-Series customers. As I mentioned, this facility is fully operational and currently supporting the first CS100 that is actually in service with Swiss, and the first revenue flight takes place later this week. We will be ready to service and support airBaltic when they take delivery of the CS300 in October of this year to ensure that our people, our resources are available to assist and help airBaltic have a flawless entry into service of the CS300. We have been working together with airBaltic over the course of the last number of months, if not years, building up to this point in time. We've been holding a number of conferences, a number of workshops, getting ready for the entry into service. This covers a range of activities such as initial provisioning for spare parts, the on-site support requirements that are needed to assist airBaltic in gaining valuable knowledge with the aircraft and ensuring a smooth transition into service within the network at airBaltic. Pilot training, Rob talked about that. We've already started with the familiarization training for the airBaltic pilots. And one very key part of it is our partnership with our suppliers and ensuring those suppliers are ready to also support airBaltic in all of their needs centered around the C-Series aircraft. So we have, as you can see in the slide, we have taken a great effort to be ready. Again, this is something past conferences, press conferences we've held on the C-Series program. We have taken a totally different approach to how our customer support activities would take place on the C-Series. Very happy to say Rob and I have been working together for the last number of years, and we are at this point in time that we transition from developing the aircraft to servicing our customers such as airBaltic, and in taking this aircraft to the next step, which is flying the public in their routes and ensuring comfort, speed, and great satisfaction on their journeys throughout the regions that they fly. This brings me to a very key part of our media event. I want to announce a significant milestone for Bombardier, for the customer services organization. We have agreed with airBaltic for a service contract for our Smart Parts program to cover airBaltic's 20 CS300s. This is fantastic news. This is in addition now to our contract we have with Swiss. So we're very happy today, very pleased. We do have Martin Sazaki here, Chief Operations Officer for airBaltic. So I'd like to ask Martin to come forward, and we will do the signing of our agreement together.
Go ahead.
Sign.
Sign. Look up. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.
I will now invite Paul Titus to join Martin, Todd, and Rob for a picture.
So it's
For the picture?
Yeah.
With Paul Titus, yes.
okay, great.
Thanks, very good.
Yes.
All's in the middle.
Here first. Actually, guys, can you just move over that way? This way? Yeah. Moving. Perfect. Excellent. You guys move mine. Hold the mic. Sure. Excellent. Thank you. Look here first.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Rob, Todd, Martin, and
To your existing jet fleet, and what your plans are for the future in terms of passenger experience.
Is this one on now, or I think
yes.
I am having a microphone problem.
There's a microphone.
Okay, I think you can hear me now. The first part of the question was how the passenger experience changed. In the last one I did acoustically not get.
That was really the
Okay.
question.
Everything will change. So you're entering a brand new aircraft, that's a big difference. It's a bigger door, a bigger aisle, a bigger middle seat, a bigger toilet. In-flight entertainment, so bigger overhead bins, longer aircraft, silent inside, silent outside. Everything will change for the passenger by having the CS300, and people will notice it as they do today. So there will be, this is a game changer, as Bombardier said when they were developing it. This aircraft is a game changer, especially for us. We're still flying today Boeing Classics, good aircraft, but they're coming to their age. And for us, changing to the CS300 gives us more seats, more range, so everything a passenger likes. But also on our very short sectors, commuting into Riga, we will use the CS300. So the passenger experience will be a big, big difference, and I guess everybody will notice it the moment he enters the aircraft.
Sorry, just as a quick follow-up. You mentioned in-flight entertainment. Can you elaborate on that, please? What system? What type of system?
It's a built-in system which small screens in each row. I think one of the aircraft here hasn't, or the Swiss aircraft has that, where we can play different things, moving map, safety demos, gate information, and all other things, whatever we customize for that. It's a built-in system with small screens, but very high quality, and it looks actually very good. So will be a very good experience compared to what we have today. We have a mood light system on board the aircraft, so also as we fly a lot of the time of the year in darker weather, we will have a lot of different lights there to make your journey comfortable.
Sorry, just a quick follow-up. Will you have wireless entertainment on as well?
We will in the future, but not on the first aircraft.
Thank you. We'll give a chance to everyone. So I know that we have questions here, and maybe we can go there and thereafter, okay? So right here.
Hi. Sorry, my name is Ben Katz. I'm with Bloomberg News. I have a question for the CEO of airBaltic and for Rob as well. Firstly, I just want to know if, in the future you might look at purchasing, more C series, if there are any other variants that you might be looking at, and how does it fit into your fleet plan for the future? So are there any other aircraft types that you might consider? And then, Rob, if I could ask, what does the airBaltic order and the confirmation of it do in terms of your ability to pitch the plane to other airlines, specifically in that region?
We just added 7 additional ones, so we need to give a break to Bombardier. We give them a break, but in 6 years' time our Q400 fleet runs out, and we will be in the next 2 years evaluating what would be the best replacement. Because the Q400 in 6 years' time does not fit to the demands which we see already today. But what exactly in the next 2 years? For the time being, we're looking forward of receiving the first CS300 and then having all the 20 coming in the next 3 years.
All right, we had another question. Oh, I'm sorry, Rob.
No, that's fine. So, very important, of course, it'll be the first operator CS300. Everybody will be watching the feedback from the customers, of course, and also how smoothly the entry into service goes. So again, very key for us. We're very fortunate to have a customer like airBaltic. They are actually the highest reliability and dispatch performance of the Q400, so they have a great reputation. And that was also key for us in having this partnership agreement for having them as the launch operator. So very important. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we had a question over here and over there. Hey.
Victoria Moss with Transport World. You mentioned, Martin, that you're looking at potentially replacing the Q400s. How many do you have in the fleet right now? And by the time that you come to replace them, how many will you be operating there?
We have 12 today in the fleet, and we have a plan to have 14. We're just revising at the moment whether we add 2 Q400s or something else. That's too early to say, but we have currently 12 Q400s in the fleet.
Thank you. So we had a question over there, and then we'll come over here.
Thomas Stressle from Cockpit Magazine in Switzerland. Just a question to Mr. Gauss. Will there, or is there already any cooperation between airBaltic and Swiss regarding pilot training?
There is no formal cooperation, but of course, as they are the launch customer for the aircraft, there is an exchange on the operational level, a very friendly exchange at the moment, but there's no formal agreements. But we are talking to each other and we're exchanging information, and I think that will intensify now as Swiss has very successful taken the aircraft, and they're very open to us to exchange all the things which are around taking on the aircraft. And our Pauls is here in charge of the entry into service of the aircraft, and he's in touch with the colleagues in Swiss, so that works very well.
Thank you. We had a question here. Is there other question after this one? We'll go over there and there. Okay.
I'm Thierry Dubois with Aviation Week. How many seats in your aircraft and how many classes? Is it single class configuration?
We will have a 145 passenger aircraft, and we will fly with a curtain as the divider between the business and the economy class. That's it, 145. If we want to do more in the future, we would have that option, but we decided to take the aircraft with 145 passengers configuration.
Thank you. So we had a question here, right here, and another one there. So I might add one last question over here. Okay.
Hi, congratulations. Enrique Perella from Airways Magazine. My question is regarding the flight to Abu Dhabi. How are you planning to test that flight initially, the turnaround times of the CS300 within your network? How do you anticipate the airplane is going to behave there? And the other question is for Mr. Duar regarding the whole program and the Republic order. It's been taken off a schedule. How do you plan to address that, and if it's going to be swapped with airBaltic deliveries? Thank you.
So on the Abu Dhabi flight, that's a normal flight. It's just that the aircraft, there's no problem. The aircraft will go to Abu Dhabi, do a turnaround and come back. The turnaround times of the aircraft, we don't expect any difference to what we do today.
So it's no issue. It's a destination like any other destination, a bit warmer than in Riga normally, but not an issue, and we have confirmation now that the aircraft has no issues with that.
Thank you. I'll just add actually 2 points. So the C-Series was actually designed and qualified with all the systems to plus 54 centigrade, highest in the industry. Currently, initial cert, we're at plus 44. As in Canada, it's challenging to get warmer temperatures than that, so we'll keep looking to increase those temperatures, but we plan to get the full capability to allow all that flexibility, and with the performance of the aircraft, we'll be able to do exceptional performance in those conditions out of Abu Dhabi. In terms of Republic, they are firm orders, remain in place. We are working with them as they restructure their business and supporting whatever decisions they make on their fleet, but so far there have been no decisions made to date. But if Martin would like to buy extra aircraft, I'm sure we could find a few extra.
All right, we have a question here.
Sylvain Larocque from La Presse. airBaltic is a smaller organization than Swiss. How challenging is it for you to plan the entry into service of a brand new airplane? And I have maybe another question. Were you worried when all the problems with Bombardier and the financial problems and all the talk about the orders, were you worried you had placed your order already, or you worried that maybe the plane would never fly?
Let me come to the second question first. I was in the middle of this, let's say the media reporting about it and all the trouble. It's always good when you get professional information, and we at all times got from Rob and the other executives of Bombardier up-to-date information at all times in the last 4 years. We were very well informed, and we had at no time doubt that the CS300 would be our future aircraft. There was a lot of speculation. We see today that we were proven right, and by just following our plan and executing it, we're coming to the aircraft now in October. So for us that was a professional update in the last 4 years, which worked very well. On the second one, yes, we are a smaller organization, but with 3 million passengers. And the second year in the row, the most punctual airline, I think we can cope with a lot of things, and we don't have an issue as an organization taking on the aircraft. We already took on the Q400 in the past, we took on Boeing 757s in the past, 737. So we're ready for that. We have a very professional team. And again, waiting for the airline to beat us twice in a row, being the world's most punctual airline, and then talk again about a small organization.
We had a question over here, and we'll have time for a question here too.
Woodrow Bellamy with Avionics Magazine. Just had a question about the avionics package on the C-Series, and I know ICAO released some standards around aircraft tracking. How is the C-Series equipped to help airlines like airBaltic with aircraft tracking? And also the airspace mandates in Europe, is it equipped to meet those?
Yes, so very good question, I'm happy to answer. So the C-Series actually has the most advanced cockpit in commercial aviation. So full all-weather capability, ADS-B in, out, RNP 0.05, full maps features, both of course in flight, but also as well all the ground maps. So if you'd like to actually take a visit, the aircraft's available on static display. We have our key pilots here. They could walk you through that. And we really took a clean sheet approach to the cockpit. So it is really different. Training time, instead of a typical 30 days, is down to 20 days. And with the large screens, we have everything visible without stacking a bunch of cascading menus. So the feedback we've had from all the customers, as well as the authorities, has been a really big thumbs up, so I'd be happy to show that to you. Thank you.
So we had one question here.
Thierry Bois, Aviation Week. What kind of aircraft is the CS300 replacing in your fleet?
Today we have a mix of Boeing 737-300 and 500 classics, so it's replacing all of them, and we're adding another 7. So the fleet will be then 20 CS300s in the future.
We have any more questions? One last question. Just want to make sure. All right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the media briefing has now come to an end. Again, if you didn't get a chance to ask your question, which maybe you will have more a little bit later on, we will be glad to assist and arrange if you'd like to have one-on-one interviews with our executives. So we have Annabelle and Marinella and myself. Also, if you wish to learn more about the C-Series aircraft, please, there's a static display, and we have our team that will be able to give you a tour with the HoloLens technology. It's pretty cool, so you might want to check that out. And also, please stay with us, because right after this, we'll have an order announcement for the Q400 at 2 p.m. For now, enjoy the hospitality. It's raining outside, so you can stay warm right here at our pavilion. And we will be right back. Thank you very much.